They say things are bigger in Texas, and after we spoke with Georgia Tech equestrian member Lecznar, who is a biology major from Houston, we believe what the buzz is all about. Allie not only is an award-winning rider, she is also a leader in her sorority, has a passion for snakes, and gives back to children by using the therapy of horses to help with their problems. Let's hear more from Allie as she tells us all about her time at Georgia Tech. How did you like growing up in Texas?
I loved growing up in Texas. I have a lot of pride in the state of Texas. I really miss it a lot. I feel like Texans really band together, and we're a little bit cockier than the rest of the states. But I liked growing up in a big city like Houston, but then still kind of having sort of a country feel. Mm-hmm. So it kind of reminds me of the South a little bit.
Mm-hmm. What is your biggest fear?
Probably failing out of tech, maybe, or just failing life in general and disappointing my parents mostly. I know being an only child, they put so much into me, just love and support and money and all these things into things that I want to do. They really wanted me to be a biomedical engineer when I came here, so I was really pushing for that. And I just kind of realized in the middle of it that that was really their dream, and I really wanted to be in biology and do things with horses. So I kind of had to tell them, you know, this is what I want. And that was the first time I really told my parents, like, this is what I want. And I don't know, the money thing's a really big deal. I know that they put so much money behind me, I just really wouldn't want to disappoint them.
How has Greek life enhanced your experience here at Tech?
Greek life has probably changed my whole perception of college in general. When I first came through, my mom said, you're rushing, and I didn't really have a choice. I didn't really know if I wanted to or not. I didn't really think I was, you know, that type of person. I looked at all these Southern belles, and I said, I'm from Texas. I'm not a Southern belle. You know, I don't wear dresses for football games. In high school, I painted my chest with a sports bra. It's not a big deal, but so when I went through Rush, my mom said, you have to have all these outfits. You have to put all these things on. And I thought, these girls, why does it matter what I wear to this sorority house? I mean, I do want to look my best, but I went in there, and I was like, these girls are like, I thought they'd be Stepford wives or like Barbie doll clones, but they were actually really genuine, and I instantly fell in love with the Zetas. And ever since then, I've just been, you know, so excited that I did Rush. And I thank my mom every day that I did Rush, because I just feel like you have instant friends all of a sudden. And the Greek community just makes Tech so small and so, you know, like a home away from home. Mm-hmm. I know every person. I was talking with one of my friends about this. In one field division at Georgia Tech, like if I just take a snapshot of where I'm looking that day, I will know at least one person in that field division just because of the Greek community. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like I know every face as I walk through campus. I will know at least, you know, 10 people walking through campus only from being in Greek life, and I know I wouldn't have that otherwise. And it helps you in class. It helps you, you know, you have instant friends.
Tell us more about your passion for animals, and specifically snakes.
So I've always loved animals for sure. My favorite animal is actually probably a lion, but I also really enjoy dogs and horses, and more recently snakes. I wasn't really a snake person before, per se. I don't really think anyone truly claims himself a snake people who's not a little maybe weird, but so I don't want people to think I'm like a crazy snake lady. Mm-hmm. But last summer, I had an internship at a state park. It's actually Sweetwater Creek State Conservation Park. I started helping out with the snakes that they have. They have like a little education center where they keep a couple snakes for just education purposes. And they really needed someone to kind of get a snake program going so that kids can come in, they can touch the snakes, learn about them, and hopefully just raise snake awareness so people can identify snakes, identify which ones are venomous, know which ones to stay away from, and really help protect snakes. Because it's actually illegal to kill snakes in Georgia, but everybody does it. I mean, if you find a snake in your house, the first thing, I mean, there's the best kind of snake is a dead snake. That's what everybody thinks. But it's actually really detrimental to the snakes and the ecosystem to kill these things. I mean, there's like hundreds are killed every year. So I really am trying to help people understand that these are animals just like anything else. You know, people aren't chopping the heads off squirrels if it comes in their house. They kind of just shoo them out. So that's really what I'm trying to encourage people to do, is be able to identify and tell them what to do if you encounter a snake so that we can help protect these little guys. But I've purchased a snake, so I now have a pet snake. And his name's Marvolo, and he's a ball python. And then I'm now officially the head of herpetology at Sweetwater Creek State Park. And I will be starting my first snake program. It's called Snakes Alive. And I will be starting the first one in April, I think. So I'm really excited about it, and I hope it goes well.
Why did you choose Georgia Tech?
Well, I came from St. John's School in Houston, Texas. So it's like a prep school. They were really focused on Ivy League. They were really pushing those liberal arts schools, the little, either like a really little liberal arts school or an Ivy League school. And all my friends went to Harvard and Yale and things like that. And I just was, first of all, I didn't want to go up north because it's freezing up there. Mm-hmm. And the second, I know I wanted to be involved in science. And a lot of my friends went to MIT, but as soon as I visited Georgia Tech, I absolutely fell in love with it. And I knew I wanted to go to biomedical engineering. So I think Georgia Tech was number 4 at the time, but now we're up to number 2, which is really impressive. Mm-hmm. So when I came here, it was mostly for biomedical engineering, but as soon as I stepped on the campus, I said, this is it. I know I wanted to have a city feel, but then I also liked the fact that we're like in our own little bubble in a city.
After you graduate Tech, what will you remember most about your experiences here?
I think I will remember getting really low grades on tests. Is that wrong? I think I'll never forget celebrating the 64 on a Physics 2 test because the average was like a 62, and I was so excited that I got a 64, and I called my parents and I told them that I was so excited about that, and they were just like, what? But it's just what I remember most is just the struggle of getting through Georgia Tech. The fact that I feel that all of us kind of had this common bond of like, oh my gosh, this place is hard, mm-hmm. that we kind of just all have to get through it together. And once I get through, hopefully, when I graduate, I'll just be proud of myself and remember that I got through all of that, even the fact that I didn't become a biomedical engineer, the fact that I really found myself in college and I realized my passion for horses, and I didn't say, oh, that's just a hobby. I'm now pursuing that hopefully as a career choice and things like that, and just remembering the struggles and the challenges that I had at Georgia Tech is definitely what I remember most.
Do you live on campus?
Mm-hmm. I live on West Campus in the Undergraduate Living Center. I lived on campus for all 4 years, all on West Campus, not necessarily by choice. I think this last year I gave in to West Campus. But I guess it is quiet. It's not as far as people say it is. A lot of you East Campus people think that West Campus is like some foreign place or something like that. But I like that it's quiet and it's close to the CRC. And it's the same as North Ave. I don't know. I like it.
So we've heard that some of the Georgia Tech equestrian riders are involved with the APD. Can you tell us about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually a funny story how it started. One of our riders, I think she was wearing her breeches. She just came back from the barn, was walking through a store, and she happened to see a police officer who had a horse badge on the side of his jacket. So they started talking about horses, and he was a mounted patrol officer. And he said that they used to have volunteers that would come and help out, but they just couldn't really find people who really knew what they were doing to come out and exercise their horses. So they both had the great idea to kind of start this partnership between Georgia Tech and the APD for the girls to start going out there and riding their horses. And it's just really a fantastic experience for us.
We know that at your shows, it takes a lot of emotional and physical toughness to get through a clean ride. What kind of support do you receive from your teammates?
My teammates are really helpful if you have a bad ride, because the way the IHSA works, you probably have 1 or 2 shows in a day. So you'll definitely have to ride more than once in a day. And if you go in, maybe you had a bad draw, or maybe you just really messed up, for you to have to get mentally prepared for your next ride, your teammates are really helpful. They're kind of your eye on the outside of the arena. They can tell you, like, yeah, the judge was right, you really weren't doing that. You know, kind of just give you like, oh, you know, maybe that was all in my head or something, and just give you, you know, just kind of reaffirmation of like, yes, you were doing this, no, you weren't doing this. They can really help you and give you this confidence and tell you like it's going to be okay, or it really wasn't that bad, you know, just things like that. Being there for moral support and knowing that someone's there for you is really nice. Even when in a sport that's supposed to be such an individual sport, it's really nice to have, you know, all these cheerleaders on the side just cheering for you, because we try and go in classes one at a time. So it's kind of fun that you get to be in the spotlight for like 10 minutes. It's all about your class and you. And we always try and help each other. Like when we get our horse assignments, we try and watch the horses, like look out for each other, take notes for each other, or make sure all of our equipment's in the right order. So it's just really nice to have, you know, all these helping hands and cheerleaders around.
Lecznar has done what a lot of people may think is impossible, and that is to navigate through Georgia Tech while having several outside interests that she has been successful with. We thank Allie for sharing with us all of her many passions and wish her the best as she gets ready to leave Georgia Tech. Until next time, I'm Diana Nord. Thanks for watching Taking the Reins.